I'm back looking at this Pest Repeller again. I sort of don't want to make my own repeller. It does take time to design one and then make it work. Whereas this has the building blocks that I need to start from. So I decided to go and see what really is the problem with this thing and then make it work. Um, it, the thing that I don't like about this is because it's powered up by mains. It's really very dangerous to health when you're working directly with live wire. Um, I mean, this thing could shock you to death. So it would have been nice if they used switching power supply from 220 to 12 volts, for example. Then they would have the proper circuit isolate 220 in, between 220 and 12 volts. That's the reason why when this product are built and they're meant for a country or, for example, Canada, they have to meet CSA, and they undergo high voltage testing, isolation test, that sort of thing. That's why selling this kind of product and they have to meet stringent safety. This 100 peso could become, I don't know, 2,000 peso. So they don't become cheap because now you're paying for testing and labeling because it has to have the label CSA approved. So that's the reason why devices being sold to North America without any type of CSA approval will be cheap. It becomes costly when they have to meet approval. So I'm going to use power supply instead of directly tying it to the mains for the sake of safety. So I'm going to start figuring out how to make this thing work. Using a transformer, the transformer output is 6 volts to power up the circuit. And with the logic probe, let's see here. With using a logic probe set on poles, it's there's an output at the 555. I'm not sure what the frequency is. However, I'm going to measure it now and see what the frequency is. So with the multimeter set to measure frequency, I'm going to check the frequency at the ETSO. Right now the meter is picking up 60 Hertz, which is the frequency of the line. So with proper power, the piezo is oscillating, or is being made to oscillate at 22.7 kilohertz. So that's a little bit beyond the ultrasonic range. I'll just have to check what irritates a rat or a mouse. I think around 33 kilohertz. So this is beyond hearing range. The thing is, does it really work? So let me just think. I think if I put a drop of water, I should see the water vibrate. I'm gonna do that. Let me see. I'm gonna do that. I've taken the piezo out of the housing. It's still being pulsed at 22 kilohertz. However, I don't feel any vibration at all. So I'm not really sure what's going on. It might be is because it doesn't have enough power. So I'm going to use a different power supply. Here, using a power supply 12 volts connected to the circuit board. and a drop of water on the piezo plate. So it tells me the piezo is not working. Unfortunately, I don't have another plate. See where I can get a plate. So I have some of this buzzer lying around. So I'm going to quickly check the output of the 555. So just that's 23 kilohertz. This thing has a wide dynamic range. In theory, I should be listening a really high frequency sound. However, at 23 kilohertz, there's a dampening, so it lowers the frequency at the coil, so we can hear the tone. So what it's telling me is this piezo plate is not working. It looked like when they they damaged it, unfortunately. So that's one of the reasons why it doesn't work. This plate is not good. Man, how could they live with themselves selling bad products? I mean, they could. I mean, that's a silly statement. They're selling an empty shell, fake repeller. I mean, it's not Lazada themselves, but the seller. And then ship a faulty unit that doesn't work. So and I'm sort of speechless. The amount of work that people go through to sell a useless product just to make a buck. That's sad. Anyway, it don't work because the plate doesn't work.